My name is Tyler Nepote. I'm based in Wichita, Kansas, originally from Kansas City. So I've been doing commercial real estate for about 5 years. Started on the with a private company on the corporate side and transitioned to brokerage slash ownership about 2.5 years ago. So traditional real estate, typically you're marketing it for cash. So it's a very limited buyer pool. Exchange marketing is best for clients who typically have either properties that they're going to want to exchange with. So most of the time in traditional real estate, when someone sells a property, they do a 1031 exchange. And a 1031 exchange just defers basically their taxes, their capital gains. Exchanging just takes that out of it. It takes the middleman out. So as opposed to selling your property, then you going to find another property, you're already finding that new property and just exchanging your property for that. From a client side or an ownership side, when you sell a property, you have an ID period, which basically in the 1031 rules says that you've got 45 days to identify 3 properties that you would potentially buy, and then you have to close on one of those within 180 days. Well, exchanging, there's no timeline because you haven't sold your property yet. So you're able to go out with no timeline and go try to find something else you want. The other benefits to it is typically when you're exchanging, people are more creative. The brokers that understand exchanging there's more of a counseling rather than just what do you want to sell your property for? Great, I'll list it and I'll try to sell it. This is much more of, well, what are you trying to accomplish? What benefits are you seeking? Why are you selling? What are your goals ultimately? It's a little bit more intimate. Everyone's got different benefits. Some people might want land because land is easy to manage. You just mow it, you pay taxes, that's it. Some people want income. Some people may want a project. There's a lot of people out there that say, hey, I've got a fully occupied strip center that has income. I don't want that. I want something that is vacant that I can go add a lot of value to increase the upside. Management is a benefit. Some people want to manage, some people don't. Some people want tenants, some people don't. Some people want big value add upside, some want development. It really depends. Geographical location can be a benefit. And a lot of people think, well, cash is king, which I'm a finance guy and I would partially agree with it, but cash doesn't have any value unless you're spending it or you're buying something with it. So really what people want is something that they're going to be buying with that cash. So the benefits they seek from that cash, whether that's something really pretty to look at, something maintenance free, something to live in, something to operate and make money off of, they want cash flow. But really, if you just put money in a bank, there's no benefit to it. Counseling's almost like dating. Probably not the most professional way to say it, but it's really getting to know your client, as opposed to just saying, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, here's the property you have, here's the price you want, here's what I think it's worth, I'm going to go list it for you, which is how traditional real estate typically works. Instead, it's, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, what do you guys like to do? What are you trying to accomplish? 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? What are your goals? What benefits do you seek? Because a lot of times those clients possibly are not narrow-minded, but they don't understand what's outside of their market for the most part. So a lot of times people that seek high yield or high cash flow but are afraid to leave their market after a couple counseling sessions can understand that they don't have to go see a property every day if it's under a triple net lease. There are thousands of formulas out there, so I could bore you for a while about them, but a pretty, I don't want to say basic one, but a pretty easy one to understand. It's called a discount sale buyback. So what that means is, for example, if someone owned a property that, let's say, was worth $1 million, but they need $100,000 in cash tomorrow because some life event happened and they need cash today. So what they could do is discount their property down to, let's say, $200,000 and sell it, even though it's worth $1 million, discount it down to $200,000, but get an option to buy it back at $250,000 or $300,000 within a certain amount of time. So that way it solves their need. It provides someone the opportunity to come in and basically almost give out a loan to them, but feel very secure since they're only paying $200,000 for a $1 million piece of property. A lot of brokers, when they first see exchanging and see equity marketing, they have 100 questions and they're like, wait a minute, what? And their first meeting is usually drinking from a fire hose, just because of everything going on and the creativity and the structures and formulas. It's crazy. But once you get it, it opens up a whole new way to sell property. And it makes you more of an asset to your clients because of the counseling, because of the creativity, and realizing that you can do a lot more than just sell property for cash. I do it because of the creativity. It kind of cuts out the middleman, and I'm not big on just traditional marketing. This really allows you to solve not a client's problem, but their need. You get to help with their benefits. You get to find them what they're seeking. So it's not just, hey, I sold your property. It's, hey, we sold this and we got you this. We completely accomplished your goals. And why do I come to these meetings? Obviously for the real estate side of it and looking at deals, but really the people. There's a lot of smart people that come to these meetings, and some of the most sophisticated real estate people I've ever met come to these meetings, and they believe in exchanging and creativity with real estate.
If you have the tunnel vision of the one way to do real estate, it's almost like you guys are magicians.
It's funny, there's a class that a gentleman named Gary Vanderberg teaches, and Gary's a longtime exchanger, but his class is exchange magic, and he calls himself the magician.